Good morning. Look, this is laser, so, no makeup. This is me on a normal Monday morning. This isn't like my usual videos. There's no production. I'm holding the camera. It's not in a mount tripod. No nice lighting, no fancy backgrounds. Just me, sat on the sofa. And there's a reason for that. And that reason is, I think I need to get this off my chest. Because I think, trying to use the words carefully and not to sound arrogant here, but I think in some respects I've sort of become the victim of my own success, if you will. Success probably isn't the right word. I have tried from day one of my transition to put a positive spin on things. And sometimes I think what happens is it looks like I'm not having problems. And now that, I've been through so much, I'm being accused of, or I feel like I'm being accused of, correct me if I'm wrong, or come and say if you think that's the case, but I'm being accused of breezing through life like this is no big deal. This is the single most difficult thing I have ever been through in my life. And it hurts. But I made a decision a long time ago to not focus on the problems. That's why I don't post about the 3 months I spent living in my own spare room on an airbed because my wife was leaving me. It's why I don't post about the lowest ebbs of my life. It's why I don't post about, I'm not allowed to talk about it on here, but it's why I don't post about some of the awful things that I very nearly did. It's why I don't post about when I was losing my child, how painful it was. It's why I don't post about the arguments I have day in, day out with family because of my transition. It's why I don't post about the battle every single morning to get up, to know that you've got a fight ahead of you for the day. And when I do mention those difficult times, I try really hard to say, but you know what? It doesn't matter because it's going to be okay. People don't see strength unless they see the struggle. And I try really hard not to show the struggle, so people don't see the strength. And now I'm being accused of, or it seems very much to me that I'm being accused of being, inconsiderate and narcissistic, having people raising concerns about my mental health. Yeah, probably. There's no two ways about it. I have had depression. I'm being, I'm trying to deal with it. I'm dealing with my depression by making positive changes in my life. People come to me daily. I get at least 2 or 3 people. I don't want to exaggerate. 2 or 3 people every single day, different people, come to me with problems because, they want to know what the secret is, what the trick is, what I've done to blag my way through it, to convince GIC, for instance, to fight my way through these problems. But there's no secret. There's no trick. There's no blag here. What have I done to get to this point? Well, I nearly lost literally everything. I fought and fight day in, day out for the bulk of my life and the rest of my life probably, just to be able to have what is to anybody else a fairly innocuous existence. People come to me and they ask my opinion. They come to me with falsehoods, inaccuracies, saying that this is how it is. And then they don't like it if I disagree. Or if I point out that there are different options to perhaps the ones that they thought. So I get attacked for it. Is that fair? I'm sorry I'm not here all the time being a crying wreck. I'm sorry that I try so hard to be that positive person that I never had when I was starting my transition. I never had when I was younger. That I'm doing it for some reason, that I've got some sort of motivation or agenda. Well, yes, I have actually. And the agenda is that I know what it's like to be that person that feels that the world is closing in on you. I know what it's like to be that person who thinks there is no more options left. I know what it likes to be. I know what it's like to be sat at the beginning of a 2-year plus waiting list and think there's no hope for the future. But I'm still here. And I've still desperately tried all the way through to shrug it off and say, yeah, that was a problem. I've dealt with it. If there's people out there that can't do that can't deal with these things, then that is horrible. And I feel awful for you. I genuinely do. But don't for 1 second think that because I grin and I smile from ear to ear that everything in my life is okay. Don't think for 1 second that I'm weak, that I'm faking, just because I try to be a positive example of how life can be. Because that positivity is what I want from my life. That positivity is what I want to believe. In fact, you know what it is, what I believe? That life is going to get better, that life has been as bad as it can get. And once you've been at that point where life is as bad as it can get, then everything from that point has got to be better. You know? I'm sorry if it's sometimes pointing out a few truths and facts to people upsets them. I'm genuinely sorry. I had no intention of upsetting anybody. You know, I've had people come to me recently and say to me they can't change their name for some reason that they need someone else to sign off on it. Rubbish. Complete twaddle. I'm sorry, you've misunderstood the law. I've tried to help this person out and they've turned around and attacked me for it. I've had people come to me and say, GIC won't give me a referral when they're not in a position to have that because the requirement is that the requirement for surgical referral is that you've lived in role full-time, that you've changed your name, that you're working, so on and so forth. What did I do to convince them? Well, I did the things that they needed me to do. I took my life into my own hands. I did the things I need to do. That doesn't make me any more valid. To be accused of basically saying that somebody is not trans enough is absolute rubbish. I've never and never would say such a thing. This is not my usual video. This is me trying to show you that I am a real person with real feelings. Yeah? And that I am really here and I am really fighting every day to be able to be here. It's not a blag. I've not breezed through. I'm sorry if I've made it look a lot easier than it is. Yeah, sure, maybe it gives people false hope. But there's no false hope about it. If you find the people with the right motivation and you find the people that have got the, that can recognise that strength in themselves, and if I can help someone see that in themselves, and I can help that person through, which I know for a fact I have done in the past, then I don't care. I'm going to keep smiling. And I'm going to keep posting the good times and the happy times. Because there's enough misery in the world without deliberately seeking it out. So maybe next time somebody decides that, they want to call me narcissistic, selfish, fake. Maybe next time they'll think a little bit that maybe what I'm doing is just trying to show that the struggles pale in significance to what life can be like. Maybe I'm just trying to be positive for everybody's benefit as well as my own. And I don't think I deserve to be bullied. I don't think I deserve to be bullied for doing that. I have never and never will invalidate anybody's experience. I will never turn around and say, this is right and this is wrong about somebody's choice in life, how they choose to transition. I have never questioned anyone on here in terms of their own identity. As far as I'm concerned, if that's who you say you are, that's who you are. Never have and I never will. But don't for 1 minute think that I can just constantly now be berated for being happy with what I've managed to achieve. A moment of happiness a week ago, and the fallout has just been ridiculous. This is not my usual video. This is me telling the truth. People aren't going to like it. One last thing before I go. If you've really got a problem with me and how I'm living my life, come and talk to me about it. I am the open book. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody about it. But I'm not going to spread misery and depression and self-loathing and hate over a group that's here to support people that I put a lot of time and effort into. I'm not going to do that. Don't manipulate my opinions to suit your own agenda. Don't manipulate my opinions to suit what you expect life to be like. Sorry if I'm just a bit too happy-go-lucky for some people, but you know what? Seems to be working for me, so whatever I'm doing, I'm obviously doing something right, and I'm going to stick to it. Peace out.